1, 2, 3, and we're live. Welcome back to Framer Dive. Now, if you've opened Framer recently, you've probably seen the new updates. Wireframer, code components with AI, a bunch of fresh power tools. And let's be honest, it's exciting and a bit overwhelming. That's exactly why I'm making this video. Instead of trying to explain everything, we're going to build something real together. A sleek, modern jewelry website, starting from scratch using the new Wireframer. But that's not all, we also grab some real-world inspiration. I found a website that uses really cool interactive zoom effect on hover, and I'll show you how to recreate that using Framer's AI code components. Yes, even if you don't write code. So if you've been wondering how to start using all these new tools without getting lost in the source, this is your video. By the end, you'll have a working project you can remix, build on, and use as a launching pad for your amazing ideas. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start from a blank canvas. I'll hit this plus icon on the top left, and I'm gonna click Wireframer, and then I'm gonna put in some simple prompt. So I've just written a simple prompt. I've told it design a modern jewelry website homepage with a clean hero section, featured collections grid, product highlights, customer testimonials, and a newsletter sign up. And then I'm just gonna click start. So give it a few seconds and we'll see what it comes up with. Okay. So it's coming up really well, as you can see. And boom, as you can see, it's already laid out a clean structure for us. Let's just check it out. As you can see, we have a clean hero section, and then you can see we have our product grid here. We have different products. We can see here like a featured product page section, and we can see a nice testimonials here, and then we can see the newsletter sign up. So this is pretty nice. And the better part is even this is also responsive. We can just reduce the size, and I'll show you what I mean. So now I'll start customizing it. I'll start by changing the fonts, but I think the fonts look good. But let me just change some of the few fonts. And then I'm just also gonna change a little bit of, I'm gonna add some images inside here. And yeah, just to give it a premium look and a jewelry website feel. So if you're following along, feel free to pause and tweak your design to match your brand or vibe. So now, as you can see, I've just added a few images on our website, and also I've also changed the text to serif font just to give it a premium look. So remember, we were to create an AI code component, and I want to show you where we're gonna get our inspiration from. So check my cursor right now and see when I hover inside here, it changes from a normal cursor to this kind of a circular cursor. And what's even more interesting, you can see it kind of like we're zooming in on the image underneath it. I think this looks pretty good. So what if we can do this ourselves? What if we can steal this idea and put it in our jewelry website? And that's exactly what we're gonna do. So let's check out and see if we can build this using the AI component released by Framer. So I'm gonna come here to my code, and I'm gonna click here assets and come here to code, and I'm gonna click here new with AI. So I'm gonna tell it to make a component that resembles that particular cursor. I'm gonna tell it make an interactive cursor which, when hovered over an image, it changes it changes from the default. It changes from the default cursor to a circular cursor. Okay. So I'm gonna tell it the interactive cursor. I tell it the interactive cursor should have a zoom effect on the image underneath it, more like a magnifying glass that zooms in what's underneath it. Then we're gonna add some styling. So I'm gonna tell it for styling, add small round border and a subtle, I tell it to add a subtle shadow. Yep. Okay, and then also I'm gonna tell it also I want to be able to edit the zoom property and the size of the interactive cursor from my properties panel. So then I click enter, and I've just defined what I think that cursor should look like, and let's just see if it's gonna bring our idea to life. So we're just gonna wait and chill and see what it comes up with. So nice. So as you can see, it's created this new component. So it says I've created an interactive magnifying cursor that appears when hovering over an image with customizable zoom and cursor size. So let's just see if this thing works for real. So I'm excited as you to see if it will work. So I'm gonna come and drag it inside here. I'll drag it and copy paste it. And I'm gonna set this to fill this space, and I'm gonna set this to fill. So now I have this new image here. So let's just test it, see if it will work. Okay. So if I hover inside, I should be able to zoom on the image. So let's see. So so I'm hovering, nothing is happening. So okay, let me just reload. I don't know why nothing is happening. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. Let me just take this again, Control C. Let me paste it inside it as a standalone here, and let's see if it's gonna work. So I'm gonna come again. I'm gonna go inside here, and I don't know why nothing is happening. So I don't know why it's not working, and so I'm just gonna tell it there appears to be an issue with the component. Could you try and fix it? So it says I've updated the component correctly to clamp the cursor position within the image boundaries. So let's just see if it's now working. Now as you can see, it kind of works. As you can see, it changes into this cursor, but it doesn't zoom in. So as you can see, we're not yet successful. We're not yet building on our idea. So this is where I want to teach you something. I want to tell you to just be patient, go back to your component and just tell it what is happening. So I'm gonna come here to my workshop again, and sorry, I'm gonna click here, edit in workshop, and I'm gonna tell it, look, the cursor, first of all, we've realized that the cursor should be replaced. It's not been replaced. So I'm gonna tell it the cursor should be replaced by the round magnifying glass. Okay, and then the cursor should zoom in on hover, and so I'm gonna say it should zoom in on hover on the particular part of the image. I'm gonna give it again that so it says I will update the component so that on hover the cursor becomes round, a magnifying glass icon, and as you move the cursor over the image, circular zoomed area follows, magnifying the part of the image beneath it. So let's just see if now things are gonna work. Okay, so let's just wait and see as it builds it. So as you can see, it's created something. So as you can see, it's created something here. But let me just copy it and I'm gonna paste it inside here. So let me just get rid of this and this other one. So I'm gonna just paste it inside and I'm gonna view and see if it works. Okay, so I'm gonna go to it and I'm gonna zoom inside. Oof, it's working. It's working, but it's not really working. As you can see, the color is black. Maybe we want it to be white, and we just need to have like a single image here. So I'm gonna tell it make it into a single image and remove the magnifying icon. It should have no icons and the border should be white. So I'm gonna update it and tell it, okay, you're doing good, but we need to remove the image. So it's now going to work. So as you can see, it's updating, and let's see if it's gonna work out what we are trying to build. Yeah, so now as you can see, it's done making the updates. So let me just delete this so that it doesn't confuse us. We remember we've created another one. So I'm gonna hold Control C and I'm gonna paste it inside my desktop. So I'm gonna paste it inside here. I'm gonna paste it inside, and then I'm just gonna view the page and see if it works. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in inside, and as you can see, nice. As you can see, now it works perfectly good. This is exactly what we wanted. Nice. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just Control X and I'm gonna paste it inside here. Control V, and I'm just gonna make sure it fills this page. Fill. I'm gonna do the same for these other images. So I'm gonna do it real quick. So I've realized this image, this image here, the one that works, it only has, we can only manipulate the image. So I want us to have more properties here where we can change the zoom, we can change the size of the cursor. I'm gonna tell it it works, but we also need to be able to change the zoom level and the size of the cursor and the styling in the properties panel. So I'm just gonna tell it, look, we don't want to change just the image, we also want to change some other things here in this properties panel. So let's see if it's gonna build what we're trying to do. So nice. So it says I've added the controls for magnifying size, the zoom level, the border, the color. So now I think it's pretty good. So I'm just gonna change the images real quick. So now as you can see, our website looks clean and nice and modern. So if I click view the page, and as you can see what happens when I hover inside the image, we have this nice magnifying glass which looks amazingly good. And then I'm just gonna continue and scroll and come to this section. Notice what happens here. My cursor changes to this nice zoom effect, and then again what happens here, we can see very nicely how this jewelry looks like, and then I can drag it to this other image, and I think this is pretty dope. And then of course this image also has the same thing. We can zoom in and we can look at what we want to look at. So I think this is pretty nice and pretty modern. And now perhaps we can check if it works well responsively. As you can see, it's also responsive. And yeah, so that's it. We have just made a beautiful website using the new Framer features. I've shown you how to do this, and I think now you should be pretty confident in your building skills. You can always create something amazing, something very nice, even without writing a line of code, and I think it's pretty inspiring. So until then, I'll see you in the next video. If this helped you feel more confident using Framer's new AI tools, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what kind of site you want to build next. You can remix this exact project from the link in the description, and as always, thanks for diving in with me. Catch you in the next one. Peace.